Am I gonna cheat on Thanksgiving? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Caitlin from the Carnivore Couple, and if you're new here, I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds in the next year using the carnivore diet, and I just finished month 2 and I've already lost 32 pounds. But coming up here at the end of November, we have Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a room full of lots of delicious food and lots of people who are eating all of the food that I can't eat, I find that really tempting, and I found that hard to stay on track. Not just mentally hard to stay on track, but also the social pressure of, oh, come on, what's wrong with mashed potatoes? Oh, come on, it's Thanksgiving. That can be really challenging to overcome. So in this video, I just want to share with you guys my game plan for Thanksgiving and how I'm going to stay on track when I'm in a room full of everything that I can't eat. And make sure to keep watching to the end of the video because I'll be sharing the exact meal plan that I'm going to be having for Thanksgiving this year. Let's get into it. I gotta be honest with you guys, when I first thought about Thanksgiving this year, I was actually thinking that I was gonna have a full-blown cheat meal for Thanksgiving. The stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the dinner roll, I was gonna go ahead and have a cheat meal. You know, we have a group family text and everybody's responding with what they are bringing. And I was gonna bring some homemade brown butter maple pumpkin spice cookies. I love to bake, and I was like, I'm gonna go have a cheat meal for Thanksgiving. That was my original plan. But honestly, I've had a pretty hard start to November. That first week of November, I was off track just a little bit. Not having full-blown cheat meals, but just kind of sneaking random things here and there. And I think the reason for that was because we had a bag full of Halloween candy that our child had gotten from trick-or-treating. And, you know, I'd just take a piece here, take a piece there. Oh, I'm already doing that. Why don't I just, you know, take a little piece of cracker or different things like that. So during my first week of No Way November, I've kind of been a little off track. Again, not a full-blown cheat meal, but definitely not staying consistent as I was wanting to be. So with that inconsistency, I did actually decide to step on the scale because I just wanted to see where I was and kind of like how much weight had I gained from being so inconsistent. And so I had started month 3 at 223 pounds. And then when I weighed myself at the end of the first week of my 3rd month, I gained 5 pounds. I was back up to 228. Now, lots of that was most likely water weight, but again, not a great start to November. So then my 2nd week of November, going back to No Way November, I haven't weighed myself since that one weigh-in. I knew I really had to get back on track. A few things that I did to help myself get back on track is I posted some pictures in my challenging areas, just reminders of my why. So in my pantry, I have a picture of Patrick and I from our wedding because we'd like to have a vow renewal ceremony in 2025. So I want to look good for that. And so that is encouraging to me. So I posted a picture in my pantry, I posted a picture in my car, and I posted a picture in my fridge just to help me stay on track. And then another thing I've been doing recently to help myself stay on track is that I found I was snacking just a little bit too much throughout the day, even if I wasn't hungry. So I'm trying to be more intuitive about when I'm eating and just only eating when I'm actually hungry. So I guess you could call that kind of like intuitive fasting. So some days I will eat 2 meals a day, and then some days I'll eat 1 meal a day, just making sure to monitor my milk supply too to make sure that that doesn't drop. But so far everything has been consistent, and I think, you know, being very mindful about, am I having this meat stick because I'm actually hungry, or am I just bored, or am I feeling an emotion, or am I having this coffee because I'm thirsty and I should really drink water? So those are the things I've done to help get myself back on track, rein myself in here for the rest of No Way November. But now that I'm back on track, I really don't think I want to get off track again. You know, one thing I've been thinking about kind of cheating and how difficult it is to get back on track is wagons. Stay with me here for a second. We live in Nebraska, and so Nebraska was settled by lots of pioneers, and they would take these big covered wagons, right? And they would go find a plot of land and they would homestead, right? I come from a family of homesteaders. My great grandma has a ranch up in Montana. So beautiful. But all over our state, we have these wagon wheel paths where the wheels of the wagon have dug into the ground really deep, and that's where the pioneers would drive their wagons because it was the easiest place to go. But then if you veer off, if you have a cheat meal, it takes so much effort to get back on track. You know, if you think about those wagons, if those wagons veered off of the trail, it takes so much work and it's really bumpy to get back on track. And that's what I feel like I just went through here at the beginning of November. So I don't really want to have to experience that again because I feel like I've got momentum. I just want to keep moving down the path that I'm moving. But then on the other hand, I also don't want to feel deprived for Thanksgiving. A meat-based lifestyle is not just a diet for me, it is a way of life. So if I want to keep this way of eating sustainable for me, I also can't feel deprived. So with that said, what am I even going to be eating for Thanksgiving? So my plan is to eat a lot of turkey, and then I'm also going to be making some deviled eggs. But if I just left it there, I think I would feel just a little bit deprived, and then I would feel more likely to cheat because I know that all these other delicious things are going to be around me. You know, so instead of having mashed potatoes, instead of having stuffing, instead of having the dinner rolls, instead of having the cream corn, I'm sorry if this is tempting you, I'm gonna be making bacon gravy green beans to go along with my turkey and my deviled eggs. Now, this isn't carnivore, obviously, because green beans aren't carnivore, but it stays within the realm of a low-carb lifestyle, and it's gonna help me feel satisfied so that when all of these other delicious foods are surrounding me, I'm not gonna feel tempted. And if you would like a recipe to these delicious bacon gravy green beans, make sure to check the link in the description. It's just kind of a play on a traditional green bean casserole, but it's made in a way that you're not going to use flour or any canned soup and things like that. So I think if I'm able to have the turkey, the deviled eggs, and the bacon gravy green beans, I'm not going to feel deprived, and then I'm going to be able to stay on track. But the other area of temptation that's really tricky for me is all of the desserts and all of the sweet stuff. Like I said, I had already responded to our family group text that I was going to be making maple brown butter spice cookies. And so I'm not going to be making those anymore. I'm sorry, my family, if you're watching this. But to kind of substitute for that, instead of making those cookies, I'm going to make instead a maple brown butter latte with cream, and to sweeten it, probably a little bit of stevia. So again, that is not a full-on carnivore dessert, but it's going to help me avoid pumpkin pie, cookies, all the other desserts that people are bringing. And so it's just really important for me that I feel sustained and not deprived with the food that I'm eating, especially when I'm in an environment where I know there's going to be a lot of tempting foods. So if you're watching this, it may seem kind of intense for me to plan out my meal ahead of time. I mean, this is not something I ever used to do, but I have always struggled with emotional eating. I have struggled with being a food addict. I have struggled with temptations, and I just want to stay on track. I really want to change my health and my lifestyle. And so for me, if I do not go into Thanksgiving with a plan, I know that I'm going to start sneaking a dinner roll, or I'm going to start having a little spoon of mashed potatoes and think it's okay. And then the next day after that, then I'm going to be like, well, I've already cheated. Why should I even stay on track? And that's not something I want to set myself up for. So I'm going to set myself up for success where I'm still eating low-carb foods without feeling deprived. So that is my plan for Thanksgiving. And I just want to encourage you guys, you know, if you want to go have a full-blown cheat meal, I mean, go do what you want to do. But for me, I'm just not in a place where I feel like I'm strong enough to go do that and then get right back on track the next day. But I would encourage you, maybe you're like me and you need to create a plan for Thanksgiving. I just hope that this video encourages you that you can create a plan and that you can stay on track. And it is going to be hard to say no to all of those old things that we used to eat that are super delicious, but in the long run, it's not going to be worth our goal. And you know, it's not worth it being off for 2 weeks because of that cheat meal. Maybe you're the type of person who can have one meal and then get right back on track, but I just know that I am not that person. And so I have to have a plan. This is my plan, and let us know in the comments below, what is your plan for Thanksgiving? Are you going to stay full carnivore? If you can do that, that's awesome. Good for you. That's not, I'm not that strong of a person, but let us know in the comments below so that we can get lots of different ideas for how we can stay on track and how we can stay successful for Thanksgiving this year. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you feel encouraged. We can do this, and even if you mess up, it's okay. We can get back the next day, but I hope you feel encouraged to stay motivated, stay on track. It's a lot harder to get back on track than to just stay on track for this one meal. Again, it's just one meal, but we can do it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Are you wondering what we eat when it's not Thanksgiving? Make sure to check out this video because I'm going to show you 12 items that we buy every single week. I'll see you guys in the next one.